What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Corvette Weekly with Vet Syndicate, Horsepower Obsessed, Front Seat Driver, Protective Dad Pranks. Together we are Vet Syndicate. This is Corvette Weekly. This is our 34th showing, so we are well past half a year at this point. We're moving on to that full year. And I'm looking over in the comment section, and I see a bunch of the same names over here again, guys. I appreciate you guys always tuning in. Some of you guys over here are real diehards. I see Shane is always on here. Ralph Cruz is almost always on here. Jet Driver, Kerry Glock. I mean, you guys are awesome. It's that simple. But we have a really cool setup for you guys tonight because, number one, we were hoping we fixed the echo issue, and so far I have not heard any echoing. So let us know if the audio sounds good to you. But we do have some cool giveaways tonight as well. We're going to jump right into that really quick. Steve, show what we have again tonight. So you guys will remember this. Yeah, you'll recognize this. This is another carbon flash license plate from ACS Composite. The previous winner, that has already been shipped out, right, Steve?
Yep.
So he should already have it, I'm pretty sure.
Or close.
Yeah. If not, either way, this is a different one. So we are offering another carbon flash license plate tonight. Every $10 donation gets you entered to win this. We are going to announce something special once that hits $100 in the Venmo account. I will put the link to my Venmo in the live chat here in a second. All you got to do is click on the link, and it will take you directly to the ability to make a payment. You don't even really have to set much else up. So every $10 donation will get you an entry to win that ACS Composite license plate. After we hit $100, we have something really special to announce. So, yeah, we got to hit that $100 for us to announce this, though, because the next one is huge. It is worth almost $800, and someone's going to be able to win that again, same kind of way. Every $10 donation counts towards this, but you won't hear what it is until we hit that initial $100. So, what's going on, guys? I'm going to address the chat here real quick just to kick things off. Henry says that the audio sounds good. Kerry Glock. Epic Dream Challenge says, what's up, everybody? Hey, Shane. How's it going, guys? William Richardson. That's another name. Vet Sweet Nos. Everjeff. Can't forget him. Wheeler O'Hara. What's up, guys? We appreciate it. Like I said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate the support. You guys have been really awesome. General Lee's in the house, guys. We will go over the giveaway stuff again in a little bit after some more people join, because the giveaways tonight are going to be freaking awesome. You guys are going to be pumped to see this stuff. Wheeler, I agree. And we're actually going to talk about that exact topic tonight. I have heard that come up a million times. I have had probably 30 people send the street speed dyno to me, and I'm telling every one of them, it's got to be a happy dyno. It has to be. It's too high of a number to be legit. Trust me, I hope it is. But yeah, not sure. Oh yeah, and blown 6th gen. So guys, if you can't tell, this car over here, right over there, that is blown 6th gen's brand new 70th anniversary Corvette. Wow. He picked it up at the Corvette Museum, and it looks gorgeous. So he shot me an email. Yep. Mm-hmm. He shot me an email, showed me that, and I was like, that's going to be the car of the week right there, because that's a beautiful picture, too. You can see the museum behind him, the pearl paint just glistening. It looks awesome.
That's a 10 of 10, man.
I agree. Yeah, so blown 6th gen, his name's Jeremy. That's his car. Awesome car, Jeremy. Thank you for sending it to me. Yeah, the second giveaway is going to be a month long, so it is going to be a big one, but like I said, it's worth almost $800. So let's see.
Need the Venmo
Number 31. Link. Yep. Kerry, we're going to talk about that as well. Shane says that 70th looks fine. It sure does. But guys, you know what we're going to do is we're going to jump into a little bit of news real quick, and then we're going to come back after the first piece of news, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the giveaway. Before we do, though, guys, please smash that thumbs up button. Let us know you're liking the content. We can push this video out to more people and get more Corvette enthusiasts into this group that we share every Monday night. And guys, it's been a blast. We're all enjoying it. It's really a good time. So the more people in here, the better. But let me go ahead and switch over here to the browser, because we're going to talk a little bit about the C8 Corvette, the Z06, of course, and how it is just decimating the competition. So if you guys haven't seen this video yet, I definitely recommend you checking it out. The C8 Corvette Z06 literally just destroys the new 911 GT3 and the Audi R8 in a drag race. Now, none of these cars, all three of them, are not built for the drag strip at all. But still, the C8 Z06 just, it makes the other ones look like they're standing still. It's pretty bad. And one of them is a V10. So the C8 Corvette Z06, just like the title suggests, it is overperforming. Now, obviously that's not a bad thing, but at the same time, we're getting some serious performance out of this thing in a way that doesn't even make sense. The fact that it's literally just destroying cars that have bigger engines, you know, just more history, I should say, and stuff like that. I mean, it's crazy. So anyway, you guys should definitely check out the video. It's over on the Corvette blogger if you want to check it out. It's also the YouTube channel. You can grab it from there too. But yeah, it's a really, really well done video too. I was actually like captivated the entire time while the video was running. It was really good stuff. But as you can see here on these thumbnails, they're actually going over the power, the performance of the car and everything. And a lot of the numbers here suggest that these should be faster than a C8 Corvette Z06, specifically because not the Audi, but the Porsche weighs a significant amount less than the Z06 does. I think they said in the video it was almost 400 pounds less. Yeah. And that ends up not mattering at all. And all three cars are all dual clutch automatics as well. So there's really no rhyme or reason, but the Z06 is just, it's tearing it up. So yeah, Wheeler O'Hara says that it was cool for it to be even that close with a top crotch rocket. Now, if you guys don't know, in the video, the Z06 actually races a Ducati, I believe it is. And the Z06 actually is like neck and neck with this thing about halfway through the quarter mile, which is pretty freaking impressive because those things are nuts. Those motorcycles are crazy. But yeah, it keeps up until about halfway through. Then the Ducati pulls probably a car and a half, maybe 2 car lengths on it at the very end. But it's pretty impressive. Like I said, the video was awesome. It was well done. And of course, you know, the Z06 comes away victorious. So it worked out. But yeah, so guys, Shane's telling us we got 40 thumbs up with 92 people watching. I'd like to see both those numbers get higher, but that thumbs up will help the second number get higher. So I'd appreciate it if you guys could smash that button for us. And yeah, Henry says the Ducati weighs about 500 pounds. So that's more than 3,000 pounds less than the Z06. And 11-second Eclipse says, because America is best at everything we do.
Yep.
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Shane? He says, hello to Protective Dad, Pranks, and Front Seat Driver. There's Kevin. Kevin's tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, man. General Lee says, what's up? Doug B, what's going on, man? So it sounds like we got everybody in the house tonight, guys. So let's talk one more time real quick about the giveaway. I'm going to let Steve take this one away for a second, though, because I'm going to send my Venmo information. So go ahead and tell us what we're getting.
This is an ACS composite. I feel like the price is right. The price is right for $10 because this is a $100 carbon flash license plate that fits all Corvettes. Because unless you got carbon black on it. But once this thing hits 100, we're going to make our announcement for a month long, and that's a big giveaway. That is $800. You definitely will want. It will have a lot of interest. But this is the first one, and Venmo is preferred because YouTube takes about 50% of all.
50.
If not more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
in my
supporting
testing,
YouTube.
it seems to be quite a bit more.
Yeah.
So,
I'm looking at some of these
pin
things.
it. There it is. It is pinned over in the chat, guys. So if you want to enter into the giveaway here, every $10 donated to that Venmo link or super chat will get you an entry for the carbon flash license plate here.
And the next one.
Yeah, and it will also count towards the next one. But until we hit $100, we're not going to announce the next one. So, yeah. Check it out though, guys. It's in the chat right there. So just click on the link and you are good to go. But anyway, guys, we're going to move on to the next bit of information. And I think every time I cover a piece of information, I'm going to talk about the giveaways right afterwards. So just to make sure you guys are constantly in the know. Let's go back over to the browser though, guys. So we talked about how the C8 Corvette Z06 is just decimating some of the other supercars out there. We had the Porsche 911 GT3, brand new. I've seen these in person. These are really nice looking cars, by the way. And it didn't stand a chance. You guys are going to have to see the video. I'd play it for you, but of course, got the copyright stuff, and I don't want to get in trouble. But it is a really good video. You definitely should check it out. Moving on, though, like I said, the Z06 is also having a little bit of an issue. So if you guys are familiar with Stradman's channel, he's mostly a supercar kind of channel, but he did recently get a Corvette Z06. He drove apparently only partially home. So from what I understand, he drove to Chicago and then had it trailered the rest of the way home. So he has, I think, about 900 miles on it from what I could tell from the video. Not very much miles. So he barely is past the break-in point. And he came out to his garage, and sure enough, isn't there a giant puddle of transmission fluid under the car? Now, when I say giant puddle, I'm not talking like, kind of big. It's literally almost the entire length of his car is just totally covered in transmission fluid. So something happened to the transmission and it's leaking fluid everywhere. So he doesn't know exactly what the problem is just yet, but it's definitely not a great sign for a car that only has 900 miles on it to have a problem like that already. Shane's telling us, guys, we got 55 thumbs ups with 108 people watching. So please hit that thumbs up button, guys. I know I say it all the time. It really, really does help the channel, and we'd greatly appreciate it. Elijah says, how the heck did this thing leak oil? I have no idea. That's the problem. And it's not oil. It was transmission fluid, which honestly, it's almost as bad as if it was just spewing oil out from the engine. This could be potentially a no problem type problem. Maybe it's something super easy, but something tells me it's not. I don't know. If you read through this thread here on the Mid-Engine Corvette forum, there are some people speculating the same thing that this user here on the screen is. He says Stradman did something. And there are some people that are speculating that he might have tried to add the 2 quarts of oil, the track preparation, 2 quarts of oil to the car, even though the Z06 already has that. So then it was spitting it all back out, basically. I don't know.
It's odd for Stradman to do that because Stradman doesn't really do a lot of mechanical work to his cars. So for him to stop and put 2 quarts of oil seems odd to me.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was thinking, because Stradman doesn't pull any punches about it. He will flat out tell you he doesn't know much about cars. Even though he owns a lot of cars and he does a lot of car stuff, he doesn't know a lot about the mechanic part of it.
Yeah.
And I'm very pleased that he admits that, because it's pretty obvious from a car guy perspective whenever he says certain things that he doesn't fully understand that part of it. I'm glad that he admits that he doesn't and doesn't pull any punches about it. He doesn't feel bad about it because
he's not pretending.
Right. Yeah. If you don't know car stuff, you don't know car stuff. It's no big deal. But if you don't know car stuff and you're pretending like you do, that's a problem. But he's not doing that. And there is obviously some sort of issue with the car. And I don't know that Stradman necessarily did something, but it doesn't really jive well with what's going on, because the other people who have their Z06s haven't had any problems like this. And like Speed Phenom has his Z06 and he's beating the crap out of it. It's not leaking in transmission fluid. So yeah, there is obviously, the 1 in 100 or whatever possibility with something like this going on, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm curious what you think about that. If you haven't heard of that yet, let me know. But yeah, Stradman's car is leaking transmission fluid to the point where he's actually afraid to start it because it leaked enough fluid that it could be a problem. River Mutt, I that crossed my mind. He says possible vibrations from the flat plane crank cracked transmission housing. I don't know that it necessarily cracked the transmission housing, but I did think about the fact that it could be the vibrations causing the issue. It's so hard to say because I see so much information out there saying there's no vibrations. There's no problem with the vibrations at all. And then I see another crowd saying that there's vibrations left and right. And it's just, you're not seeing them on the top of the engine because the motor mounts are dampening a lot of it and the transmission's taking a lot of the vibration off and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not an engineer, so I can't tell you for sure, but that thought did cross my mind. BPR Z06 says that he bets GM wishes he would have just called them versus blasting it on social media. Probably, but here's the thing. It's his car. If he has a problem with it, he gets to choose to deal with it the way he wants to deal with it. Unless, of course, he got the car early because of some agreement between him and GM, and if that's the case, that's between them. Red Testa says, Chevy has put this car through the paces before selling it to market. Either something came loose or some sort of line. If the car still drove, no issues with the shifts, then it's a hose or seal. He didn't drive it. He didn't try to drive it after the leak because intelligently so, he has no idea how much of that fluid is lost. And if he were to start it and try to put it in gear and it caused another issue with the transmission, then it is on him. So looks like we got 65 thumbs up currently, guys. It would be really cool if we could have a little bit more of these. Any help will, or any thumbs up will help. Yeah, he was there. This comment says Shmee hates the entire C8 series. I've heard that too. And he was there with
Shmee.
Huh?
It's all right. It's Shmee. Oh.
Yeah. But he was also there with Stradman whenever he noticed this problem. So I don't know. I don't like to think that there's YouTube conspiracies going on as well in the world nowadays. So we'll pass right over that. But who knows? Kerry Gloss says that he thinks he tried to add fluid. It has to have the trunk access to do it. I don't know, because just like Jason said, Stradman admits he doesn't know a lot about cars, so I can't imagine that he'd go in there randomly trying to open up drain plugs and putting funnels in and stuff. I just don't see that happening with a guy that doesn't know how to really do anything car related. Shane says maybe it's just a loose drain plug or something. It's possible. The thing is, though, is that if it is a loose drain plug, it probably came loose because of the vibrations. So still not really the greatest problem to have, I guess. But because if that's the case, I mean, what's to stop those vibrations from vibrating loose the oil drain plug next time? All right. So, guys, we are going to talk real quick about the giveaway. We got some donations here.
Oh, you put me to work.
Steve's going to write them down.
So I'm doing it tonight. So make sure that you get me. Hang on, I gotta finish this. Gotta go back, exit, and let's start a new one. Because that's last week.
Yeah, that's true. Red Testa says Amelia didn't have any issues and she hammered the car as well. Yep.
Yeah, she did.
Stupid fast truck. What's up, man? All right. Are you ready, Steve?
Yep. 2 seconds. Okay. Yep.
BPR06, we are sure it's trans fluid. It's definitely not oil.
I'm ready for the name.
All right. So the first name is going to be, we got Clarence Payton. He sent us $10.
Sweet.
So okay. Clarence, thank you for the donation. We appreciate it. You're going to get entered into the carbon flash painted ACS composite license plate frame.
Yeah.
The next one is from Jeremy, the guy who basically put the car of the week up here. Mm-hmm. So blown 6 Gen. He donated $50. And he says, a little something for the channel. Thanks for sharing my car. You're very welcome, Jeremy. Thank you for having such a beautiful car for us to share.
That is nice.
So that's it for now. I did get a text message, though. I want to check from Ralph Cruz.
You know, I got to tell you, red calipers with that white pearl tricoat looks so good, especially with the wheels, the forged wheels, man. I keep looking at that photo. I'm almost regretting yellow. Okay, I'm not, but like almost.
Yeah. Yeah, the red calipers, I'm always a fan of red calipers, obviously, but specifically, are those bright red?
They look like it.
Yeah, they don't look like edge red. Maybe he got them whenever it was still on constraint.
It looks
Blown 6 Gen. Can you tell us if those are bright red or edge red calipers? What'd you say, Jason?
I said that it looks like a bright red, man. That looks really good.
Yeah, it does. Shane says we got 80 thumbs up currently, guys. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
RCDR 1000 says, any concern about the transmission problems with the C8? I don't really know of a whole lot of problems with it. I've read a couple here and there, but mostly the big problem, big concern that everybody has right now is the one with Stradman leaking transmission fluid from his brand new Z06 that has about 900 miles on it. That's concerning to me, but some people are speculating, and I mean, I hate this kind of speculation because I would fall into this, and so would Jason, and so would Steve. People are speculating that he did it for views, and if you know Stradman's channel, I don't know that he really strives. He doesn't really have to try super hard for views. I mean, he's getting millions of views without trying.
Yeah.
I highly doubt he's going to purposely do something like that, but I've seen that pop up on the Corvette forum. I would
think not. He's too big to have to do petty things like that just to get a view. And if somebody found out and it got out of, it really got discussed, it might affect his channel. I just don't think he would be that
definitely
dumb.
would. It would definitely affect his credibility.
Absolutely. I can't see him risking that with where he is. If you're on top,
he doesn't need it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't think it's...
Unless you're Liver King and you're saying you're naturally and you're actually using testosterone or steroids.
What?
You ever heard the controversy on Liver King? Big YouTuber has been saying for like 10 years that he's a natural bodybuilder.
Oh, yeah.
And millions of dollars, and he came out and they found out he's been doing steroids the whole time.
Yes, I did hear about that. Well done.
Kerry Glock says Stradman's new floor is going to look like crap now in that spot. He actually mentioned that in the video. He said something real quick about how he didn't want to leave it on the floor too long because it was basically going to stain. But I think he's kind of screwed as far as that's concerned anyway. You're going to have to get some nice epoxy in there. If you guys haven't seen the Blackout Tinting Miami, the new epoxy floor we did down there, it turned out really, really well, and I'm sure Stradman could do the same kind of thing in there.
Yeah.
11-second Eclipse says yellow is still better. Oh yeah, Blown 6 Gen also says that those are bright red calipers. Yep. So good eye. Yeah, edge red was on constraint when he ordered. I remember that wasn't that long ago.
They need to offer both, man. That bright red looks so good, man.
Yeah.
Tweety.
He can tell what color the fluid is just by dabbing it with a paper towel. Yeah, and he did it on video. When he pulled it up, it didn't have a goldish color to it like oil would. It was a lot more clear looking, and the transmission fluid for the dual clutch is not your typical reddish color fluid. It's more of a clear, so it was definitely transmission fluid. Thanks, Shane. It turned out super great. We kind of told him what we wanted, but I'll be honest, what I was picturing in my head was nowhere near as cool as how it turned out. So,
hey, can I make a recommendation about something?
What's that?
Go ahead. Well, so we're talking about wheels, in the chat. Something Steve and I discussed. If we could do it again, we both went with the base wheel, just the cheapest wheel you could get. And if we had it to do again, we would have went ahead and gotten the forged wheels. So for anybody out there looking to get theirs, we would have done the forged wheels, and then we wouldn't have had to feel like we were in a rush to kind of replace them. And then for the extra 1,000, you could sell those wheels for 1,000 easily. So just get your money back. You don't have to make money. You don't have to, I mean, if you want, you can. But you don't have to if you don't want to, but you would definitely get your money back, and you wouldn't feel obligated, at least like we did, to kind of, move quickly.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to get them off.
Yeah. Especially
Yeah,
with
I
the
mean-
Viking side skirts, it just didn't kind of go, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, whenever you, regardless of what color car you have, like obviously you can see Steve's C8 behind him. His is all red or black. So whenever you randomly throw another color in there, it looks off. So his wheels stock were silver. Right off the bat, that doesn't match anything because everything else in the car is either red or black.
Right.
So anyway, River Mutt had a question. He said, will YouTube Z06 issues halt production? And I highly doubt that. So he's basically asking, will people like us talking about these issues make GM stop and kind of rethink things? I don't think that it's necessarily a giant issue. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just kind of curious and I don't know, maybe scared that it might be something more than just one car that has a leaky transmission. Because if Stradmans only have 900 miles on it, it was not exactly cheap. It was almost $180,000 all said and done. What's to stop that from happening to another car, especially if it's the vibrations pushing that drain plug out? If that's the case, this is going to happen to all of them. But at the same time, that's also probably a relatively easy fix. They probably just need to put something on the threads or a special washer or something that would stop it from happening. So maybe it's an easy fix, maybe not. Maybe something catastrophic happened to his car. I'm not sure. Shane says we got 90 thumbs up currently. Looks like we got about 150 people watching. Would be really cool if we could get some more thumbs up, guys. It really helps. AARPM. Nice. He just stopped in to say that he gave us a thumbs up. See, this is the kind of stuff I love about this community. He obviously didn't have time to stay and watch the video, but he had enough time to come in and drop a thumbs up. I mean, that's beautiful. That is a thing of beauty, guys. BPR Z06 says, I took the Corvette plant tour last week. Well worth it. I bet it is. I still need to get down there and do the same thing.
Yeah, I drove by it. They were closed and I had COVID, so it didn't matter.
Was it COVID?
I don't know. I'd assume. I mean, they would have probably told me it was COVID regardless, so I just assume. It was either COVID or the flu, whatever, but
yeah,
still sucked.
All right, guys, we hit 100 thumbs up. That's awesome. We did that pretty quick. That's about half an hour faster than we did last week, so good stuff.
Hey.
I mean, last week's show was not worthy of 100 thumbs up, I guess, but yeah. 2020 Matrix 8 says, you guys would love my new Z06 style rockers I got from ACS. Yeah, I heard that they were doing that, and somebody else is too. I think it was actually American Hydrocarbon is making a 7 VM kit, and I'm not exactly sure what that means, but it's obviously going to be even more aggressive than a 5 VM for a C8.
Nice.
105 thumbs up currently. Stupid Fast Truck says Stradman is super lucky it drained on his garage floor and not on the street. That's another thing that makes people believe or makes people think about the fact that this might be something a little bit more than just a problem that the car is having. Is imagine if he's driving it. Imagine if it did it while he was driving it. Like, right, that's a catastrophic failure at that point. Your transmission is toast. Maybe even more than your transmission, depending on how it drains and what it ends up trying to do in the meantime. So yeah, he is definitely lucky. We'll see what happens though. I'll be following, and I don't know, I'm kind of curious. I don't usually watch his stuff because he has cars that I would never even dream of having. So there's not a lot of reason for me to watch, but yeah. So Bruno says, I must have walked around at least 100 times. Nice. R. Wilson says, have you seen Street Speed 717 exhaust in progress? He released a teaser at the end of his video. Yeah. I did. I've seen the same things you guys have seen. I am supposed to actually meet up with him this week though. So we're going to have a really interesting video coming for you guys. I'm sure if you really think about it, you could probably guess what's going to happen, but it'll be cool. And I'll get to hear his exhaust in person to see. I don't know how you can possibly make that Z06 exhaust sound any better, but we'll see. Yeah, Wheeler, I already took care of that comment. I don't know. Random people will stop in and say dumb stuff because they don't get it, but thanks for having her back. Anybody installed scrape armor on the 5VM front? I have it, but haven't installed it. I have front lift, trying to decide. I can tell you one thing, that if you have an expensive front lip, scrape armor is always the way to go. The only reason I don't have it on my ZR1 is because the installation for the ZR1 requires drilling, and I don't want to do that. If it was an install like it is on the 5VM or on the C7 Z06, where it's just basically stock screws, I would have it. The material, their quality, and everything about the way that the whole scrape armor thing is set up is just perfect. So I would definitely install that if you already have it. Looks like we got 110 thumbs up currently. Thanks, Shane. What they figured out was it was probably draining into the undercarriage panels. Yeah. And if you guys can remember, whenever I first got my C8 Corvette, I had it at AWE getting a new exhaust. And when they pulled off the bottom panel, it was wet. It had oil on it. And it was actually transmission fluid. They thought it wasn't from my car. Maybe it was something I ran over on the road. But I found out later because that panel stayed damp. So it was consistently but extremely slowly leaking from the transmission. Now, GM has actually acknowledged this as a potential issue, at least with the 2020s, where the transmission has a problem where it will just randomly seep, is what they call, whenever it's a real slow drainage like that. But what was happening with Stradman's was not that same thing. His was coming out, like you could see it in the video, just like dripping onto the floor. And it was dripping onto the panels and then, of course, running out onto the floor. But those panels, keeping that fluid so close to the engine, that's scary in itself, because the oil like that being that close to a source of significant heat is why mid-engines are notorious for fires, because all of that stuff is kept so close to a very high heat source that, it could be bad. Jason, that was a good reply. I removed that comment. Can you still see it?
No, I sent that earlier. I saw the putts.
Okay.
It's probably one of our friends.
Probably.
Yeah, that is a good point. That is a good point.
That's competition.
Gary Glock. Huh?
That's competition.
The dog.
Yeah.
Dog said,
he's excited. Carrie Glock says, what's getting jumped? Believe it or not, Carrie, nothing. Nothing's getting jumped. I actually think Street Speed took down his jump. I was supposed to go out there with my TRX and have some fun, but I think he bulldozed it over before I got a chance. Let's see. Yeah, Vet Sweet Nos says, I watch a lot of YouTubers, Phenom, Savage Geese, but not Strad. He can't watch. It's funny how many times I've heard that today. Just today alone, I have heard probably 10 different people tell me that they can't watch his videos. And
I used to watch everything he ever made. I don't really watch him anymore, and it's nothing against him at all. Like,
right.
I guess I got burned out.
Hey, Justin, I want to make a shameful plug for you. So right now in the comment section, we're talking about the Attack Blue filter, 2020 Matrix. We're talking about how we have a video coming out soon that proves that there's a 10 decibel increase when you put this Attack Blue filter, and even 2020 talks about it. So if you don't have a Attack Blue filter, the best place to go there is horsepowerobsessed.com, and Justin sells the Attack Blue filter. It's a must, in my opinion, for the C8 Corvette. If you don't have it, very easy. Even Jason installed his, and Jason doesn't like to do that stuff.
I'm the Strad of Corvettes, man. Like I know how to start it.
Get it on Justin's website and get it in your car. It does make a difference. Definitely. We put it to decibel reader. You'll see it. We'll put out the video soon.
Yeah. So, I've talked about this before on my channel, guys. Anytime I'm ever advertising or installing something and talking about how great it is, I'm only doing that because it actually is good. I never am going to put out a video telling you to go buy a product that's a piece of garbage. I told Jason, and I told this story probably 30 times while I was down in Texas, where I have people contact me, send me their item to do a review on, and they even pay me to do it. And if I open up that product and I start into the video and I find out it's a piece of crap, I put it back in the box, I send it back, and I send them back their money, because I'm not going to take the money and then put out a video on a product that isn't actually any good. And I've done that a lot. There's a lot of products that I've returned because they're not any good. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you, hey, go buy this thing, it's really awesome, when it's not. I've tested out BMS, K&N, what was the other one? There was another one in there.
Isn't Solar the one you did the video on?
Yes, that's not an intake though. Wow, my mind is blank right now. There was another air filter I tested, but ultimately I stuck with the Attack Blue filter because the filtration of it, the sound of it, the power that it makes, and also the fact that it's made in the US and it's reusable. The price of it is also very, competitive for other filters that are only not one-time use, but not reusable.
Yeah,
so
it's a one and done. It's one and done.
Yeah. Yeah, so with the Attack Blue, you can wash it, reuse it, and you'll get 100,000 miles out of the thing before you'd ever have to worry about replacing it. So, yeah. Bruno says, be prepared to take off 107 screws. There is a good bit of screws, but I don't think it's 107.
There's less on the hardtop convertible.
There is.
Did you get yours in already, Jason?
Oh, yeah. Did
I didn't know that.
But
Nice.
I was going to say,
Jason actually installed it.
I actually did the whole thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I know, man. It was actually pretty simple. What I was going to say, the reason I said Solar is I was reading I half listened because I can only do one thing at a time, and I was reading 2020 Matrix. You made a video about the Solar ported throttle body, and this is one of the things that I respected was that you did the video. You did a dyno. It wasn't as good. You didn't bash the guy. You talked about what a great product it was, because it really was a great, well-made product. It just didn't perform as good as the GM throttle body. So you actually switched it back. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Venmo, Justin.
Okay, let me check it. But just to reiterate on what Jason was talking about, I did do a video in the past for a ported throttle body that I tested, and it didn't make the power that it actually lost power. Typically, a ported throttle body is not going to make a whole lot of power, but I was expecting like 2 or 3 horsepower max, but instead it lost power for me. And I didn't want to bash the company. I actually contacted the company twice and asked them, what do you want me to do here? Thinking that they would just tell me not to put out the video. But he was insistent. He wanted me to put out the video. And I said, okay, well, I don't bash you, but it's not going to come across well, because no one's going to want to buy a throttle body that's going to lose 20 horsepower. But, I'm not out there I don't want to bash anybody's products. I'm just not going to make a video on it if it's not any good. Now with that throttle body.
Well,
what's that?
You handled it really well. I mean, to me, I was like super impressed.
I appreciate that. I tried to my best. I mean, the product did have, good parts to it. It was just the one thing, it was too big for me to overlook. It did actually help a little bit with drivability. The product itself looked really cool, even though you never would see it, but it wasn't a total failure. It just didn't do what I wanted it to do. Asmik says, what do you guys think about the Expel product? So
just an absolute must.
Yeah. So guys, here's the thing. As Mick, I'll tell you this much. When I first started YouTube, I had never dealt with anything Expel related in my entire life. As soon as I bought my ZR1, which you can actually see right here behind me, and this is actually from an Expel ad. That's my ZR1. Yeah. But as soon as I bought the ZR1, it needed Expel because it was such a expensive car, and it was one that I wasn't going to let just sit in the garage. I wanted to drive it, but I didn't want to destroy it. So I got some Expel on it. Then I got more Expel. Then I got more Expel, more and more and more Expel, to the point where I believe in it so much that I now own a shop in Florida that does Expel installs. So I don't know. That should pretty much sum it up. And then I know these guys feel the same way about it. It's one of those things, you got to have it.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't drive our cars. Well, Jason, almost a month before we waiting for Expel, because we wouldn't drive until we got expelled.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would do the same thing.
Expelled Dallas right now. Well, he's probably home now, but he went and dropped his car at Expelled Dallas tonight to get it expelled.
Oh, he did?
Nice.
Yep.
Cool. Yep. Maybe I'll see him this week there. I got to go up there.
Yeah. So if you know, one of these days, whenever my C8 Z06 is available, that car will likely be trailered straight to blackout tinting to get expelled before I'll even drive it. If not, it will be totally wrapped with track wrap for a drive home.
Me and Steve did that.
Yeah,
That works.
My whole front end was covered up. It looked silly, but whatever. Hey,
Bruno says, guessing you had them coated before install. I'm guessing, are you talking about the wheels? I think you might be talking about the wheels. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Ceramic coated. Yep.
All right, let me see. We had Venmo. We have a Grady Ingram donated $25.
Sweet.
So, guys, we are at $60, $70, $85. We need $15 more donations for us to announce the other giveaway that will be a month-long giveaway, but it's worth almost $800.
Is Grady Ingram jet driver?
It might be. How do you know that?
Because he's the one that told me to look at the Venmo.
Okay, that's a pretty good reason.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that's him.
Jet driver, is your name Grady? And Just Me says, can you expel over factory graphics? Yes, you can, but you have to be aware of how expel will change. Yeah, that is Jet driver.
Okay.
Expel will change the look of your graphics if they're matte. So if they're a matte or satin finish graphic, the expel will change it to a gloss. Other than that, if it's already gloss, you can expel right over it. It won't be a problem.
Yeah, like on my Stinger, because it's got matte, we just went around it.
Yep.
Same way on the Z06. It just got cut around.
Yep. On my TRX, the graphics are a matte black. So I opted to not get them from factory because I knew the truck was going to get expelled. After I expelled it, then I put the graphics on top of that. Shane says we have 118 thumbs up with currently 156 watching. Guys, if you could please smash that thumbs up. We would love to get to 200 before this video is over. We would also like to talk a little bit more about our giveaway for tonight. So we have an ACS composite carbon flash black painted license plate cover, brand new in the package. Every $10 donated to the Venmo link at the top of this chat or super chat will get you an entry to win. And once we hit $100 donated, we're going to talk about another giveaway that we're going to do that will last for the entire month of December. But on December 26th, we will announce the winner of that product, and that product is going to be $800.
That's nice.
And it looks like Stupid Fast Truck is the guy to bring us to that $100 mark. He says, sorry, I'm not set up on Venmo, but he did give $15. So we are now at $100. Steve, if you want to write down Stupid Fast Truck for $15.
Yep.
Once he does that, we're going to talk a little bit about the new giveaway that's going to start tonight, and it will run until the 26th of December. So someone will have a really cool semi-late Christmas present. Every $10 donated is an entry to win this. We would definitely prefer those entries be over Venmo because YouTube Super Chat takes a lot of percentage, but either one will count. So every $10 donated will be an entry to win. And you want to hold them up? So these are engine dress-up pieces for a C8 Corvette. And as you can see, they're carbon fiber with some red accents. They say Stingray on them. That will make your engine bay look really purty. So those are $795.
Yeah.
$795, and those are from American Hydrocarbon. So if you guys want to win those, every $10 donated is one entry. So you could theoretically win those for $10.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, they're very nice looking. I mean, it's perfect carbon fiber. The paint's perfect. I mean, Pat over at American Hydrocarbon is insane at what he does. So you know that they're quality.
Yeah, they're great. Somebody who's got a Stingray is going to want this.
Yeah. 2020 Matrix 8 says that's crazy about losing horsepower with a ported throttle body. If you want to check out the video, it's still up on my channel. I put my ZR1 up on a dyno, and I mean, it was consistent. It lost exactly 20 horsepower. So
Yep.
It's one of those things. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. So yeah, horsepower obsessed. Where's my HPO/Vet Syndicate hoodie at? We're working on it. We're working on it.
We wanted to know the same.
Guys, we're going to do a little bit more news here, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about the giveaways. So the next little bits of news we have here is going to be the Street Speed dyno. So as you guys know, if you haven't seen his video yet, he had his C8 Z06 on the dyno, and sure enough, he pulled a 640 horsepower number with 445 torque. Now, you guys know the Z06 has 670 horsepower, so this car is literally only losing 30 horsepower. This is not normal, and in my opinion, it's probably not accurate. Now, there's multiple reasons why this wouldn't be accurate. I can speculate all night on why it wouldn't be, but this car, in my opinion, is going to produce between 605 to 612, 615 at the very most to the wheels. With this being 640, there's a couple things at play. Number one, in Pennsylvania, it is super cold right now. So that car is getting perfect air, but odds are good. The wheels are also probably spinning on the dyno. So if the guy that owns the dyno jet, I know he had it done at Fab Speed, but if they haven't updated that dyno jet in a little bit, it could potentially have an issue there. The dyno numbers might not be standard or STD. I mean, they may not have been corrected. I mean, there's a million reasons why this could potentially be wrong, but trust me, I have my fingers crossed that it's right, because if this car really is only losing 30 horsepower, it's a freaking monster. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? Learning Fast says that the 640 wheel horsepower is totally bogus. He is adding in a ridiculous correction factor that would be less than 3% drivetrain loss. That's impossible. It's exactly my feeling on it too. You can definitely fudge the numbers with dyno jets, but at the same time, maybe he's not. I don't want to point any fingers, because Fab Speed typically knows what they're doing. I highly doubt that they would let something like that run, unless, of course, it was done on accident. So General Lee says, where's my cup? General, I actually have tracking information for you. I will send it to you after the live. I'm surprised you don't have it yet, to be honest with you. I thought you'd have it today.
That's what we want to make. We want to make Vet Syndicate cups.
Yes.
I like, because I'm tired of using my ABC Roofing Supply camo.
Ported Blown 6 Gen says ported throttle bodies will tend to gain more power on boosted applications. My ZR1 is supercharged, and it lost 20 horsepower. Now, again, the drivability changed, but the power was not there. So the biggest thing is ported throttle bodies really don't make a lot of power unless you're tuning for that extra air. So the throttle body is pulling in more air than the stock one, but the car doesn't know what to do with it unless it's tuned for it. So that was the thing, is I didn't tune my car. R. Wilson says 640 wheel with 670 crank claim is insane. It's definitely insane. I do believe it's incorrect, but who knows? Jet Driver says he's ready to pull the trigger on the hoodie, so we need to get on that.
Yep.
Shane says we got 123 thumbs up. We got 140 people watching. Be pretty cool if those numbers could match, guys. Really appreciate it. Wheeler says, I agree that the car is probably a tad underrated, but I believe Speed Phenom numbers more that would still suggest almost 700 crank as opposed to 670. Yeah, I agree. I'm thinking somewhere between, like I said, 605 to 615 at the most is the variation of that engine. And that still is an underrated engine. So that still means that the car is creating more power than 670 at the crank. That's pretty crazy.
That would be embarrassing.
Yeah. If that is the case, I would imagine we'll just never hear it.
Yeah, that video would never.
I wouldn't want to talk about it, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wheeler, I don't think it's repeatable either. And like I said, the day that he ran that, it was like 20 degrees here in PA. It was pretty cold. So it's possible. 125 thumbs up currently with 148 watching, guys. We could really use those numbers to be closer together. That'd be cool. But let's look a little bit more at this, guys, because even though it's kind of hard to, actually it's really hard to see here, but The thing that really gave me a little indication that these numbers were probably inaccurate. I'm trying to see if it's in here somewhere. His first 2 runs, I believe, the first one was like 603, and then the second one was like 605, and then all of a sudden the third one was like 638. And the first 2, I believe, were probably accurate. The third one, something happened. Something changed, and I don't know what would have changed to make that much of a difference in power. Yeah, blown 6 gen, that's the big one. Is we don't know what gear they were running in. And with the C8, it's either 4th or 5th gear that's as close to 1-to-1 as possible. So if he's in a different gear, it will create more or less power, but it's not accurate power. So it is very possible they were not in the right gear. Yeah, can't wait to see some track comparisons. I agree. Yeah, Stupid Fast Truck says it was a 4-wheel dyno. Those are, they're out there. And normally 4-wheel dynos read low. So again, who knows? I'm not really sure what to say. There's a million reasons why something like this could happen, but I don't want to say that there's no chance that this is accurate, because it is possible, but it's not likely. It's supposed to be 5th gear, he believes. Yeah, I think that is the case too. 22 here in Jersey this morning. How about some HPO long johns? Yeah. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I do want to do hoodies one of these days. No, so 11-second clips. If you look at the dyno sheet, and I'd show you, but the one that's on the screen here is super blurry. The first run was like 605 or 603. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone real quick here. Yeah, there it is. So the first run was 608. Again, that first run puts it right in line with what Speed Phenom had. His was at 610. Then the second run was 637. The third run was 640, and the fourth run was 639. So something happened with the last 3 runs. It's odd to me that the first one would have been lower than the second and third. Typically, the first run's going to be the lowest or the highest because it's also the coldest. So for the car to progress, go up in power as it's getting hot doesn't make sense. But again, I don't know. It is possible that this is legit. We'll find out soon enough. But thumbs up or no Christmas presents for you guys. Kerry Glock's going to see to it. He will stop Santa Claus at your front door if he detects that you did not give a thumbs up to this video. Learning Fast says 600 to 610 wheel horsepower is accurate. It is literally impossible to get over 700 horsepower out of that 5.5 liter naturally aspirated V8. I don't know if I would say it's impossible. Maybe it is, but I do agree. I think it's going to be somewhere around 610, 615 is going to be, there's always variations with motor or engines. Anytime you produce 30 of the same engine, all 30 will create a slightly different amount of power. That's true too. Naturally aspirated motors seem to have less variance between them than turbos or supercharged engines. There's less factors to worry about. Let's talk about the Z06 wing available for the Stingray. So right now there's two versions available. One of them I would not necessarily recommend, and the other one I haven't seen in person, so I can't tell you if it's... I don't want to put my name on it just yet. I want to see it in person before I would tell you to go buy it. With that said, if you're thinking about getting the Z07 style wing, go with AGM, AG Motorsports.
Yep. And I'm going to be putting a video out soon why you should be choosing the other person, because I'm speaking for Protective Dad Pranks. I'm not speaking for Vet Syndicate. I'm not speaking for anybody else. But for Protective Dad Pranks, I've gotten into it with that other company on Instagram. They are very arrogant and don't stand behind their products. And that company has changed their name 4 times. If you go to Better Business Bureau, since 2014, they've changed their name 4 times. Like I said, I speak for Protective Dad Pranks. I will be showing a video why you don't want to use that product. That's coming soon, and I'm doing that because they basically challenged me saying I don't have a video, which I do. So
yeah,
It's junk. Sorry, protected at pranks.
So we have 135 thumbs up with 152 watching, so that's cool. We're getting there. Let's try to get at least to 150, guys. That'd be really cool. 2020 Matrix 8 says no to Segala.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one. Protected at pranks. I'm not gonna get you guys in trouble.
Hey, listen, all I'm going to say, and I have no concern one way or the other about them, but if you went to Corvettes at Carlisle and you checked out their car, that's all you need to know.
Fitting it.
Mr. C's says, which wing should we go with? I would stick with the stock high wing for a C8.
Amen. Right there.
Or the AG Motorsports Z07 style wing, if you want to go with something different.
And that's carbon.
Huh?
And the AG Motorsports carbon fiber.
Do they not make it in carbon flash?
They do if the weave is wrong. They paint it like GM.
Okay, that's what I thought.
They do it.
Elijah, I've seen it in person twice, actually 3 times. It's not. The wing itself's not necessarily bad. It's the install method is not great. They keep putting out videos talking about how strong it is and stuff, but it's kind of loosely attached to the car. I don't want to get into the specifics of it because I don't actually know the specifics. All I know is that how it's said to be installed doesn't seem to be the actual way it gets installed. So it looks to me like it's bolted to the back bumper or something extremely flimsy underneath the bumper because it's still really it moves a lot. So that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to get into specifics on the channel here because I'm going to tell you to make sure you look at both options. I would personally recommend the AG Motorsports version because every time they make something, they seem to make really, really high quality stuff. I would go that route.
That and their customer service. I'll tell you, I'll message them. I'll email AG Motorsports, and I have an answer within 15 minutes. They're writing me back. I don't know if they're manning it the whole time, but their customer service is amazing. And I'm asking about products while I'm asking. Like, hey, and they're like, right back. So I'm a big proponent of AG Motorsports, and soon you'll see why.
Yeah.
The big $4,000 change going around this area soon, right here. Inside.
All right. Let's take a look. Do we have any more Venmo donations? No. So, guys, we're going to talk real quick about the giveaway one more time. Giveaway is the carbon flash painted ACS composite license plate frame, brand new in the box. It's worth a little over $100 after taxes and shipping. For $10, it could be yours. So if you donate $10 to the channel, you will have a chance to win that license plate cover. We will do that drawing here in a couple minutes. So
and you get
anybody who donated, and then of course those donations will also get you entered to win this engine dress up from American Hydrocarbon. Now those are worth almost $800. So if you donate $10, it will get you entered for both of them at this point. And the drawing for that will not happen until the end of this month, the 26th of December. So someone will have a day late Christmas present. But very cool stuff for the car, guys. So if you have a C8 Corvette, even a C7, that license plate cover will fit any car, really. But the engine dress-up parts are just for the C8. Yeah, so Elijah wants to talk some track time. So,
Stephen Rapp.
Here we go. So Stephen Rapp donates $49.99. Stephen, you want to win another license plate cover? He's the one who won the first one, right?
Yeah, it's already shipped. So,
Stephen, did you get the license plate cover yet?
Maybe he wants the dress-up kit.
That's true. That's true. He could want that too. All right, so he donates $50, so add him on the list. Thanks, Stephen. We appreciate it. And he has not gotten it yet. And Steve disappeared.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
There it goes.
All right. So, who was it that asked about the track times? So anyway, guys, we do have some track situations here, we'll say. So Speed Phenom is actually the person who has recently taken the Z06 to the track. And we have some information about it here over at the Mid-Engine Corvette forum. Of course, it says Speed Phenom sets track record on the auto speedway with his C8 Z06. Now, if you guys haven't seen the video yet, number one, I definitely suggest watching it because this thing sounds absolutely phenomenal or phenomenal on the track. It really does. It's it's insane the sound that this thing makes. But what I found to be really interesting. Oh, Steven, well, before we get into that, Steven says he was really hoping not win, just donation. Steven, you are possibly the coolest. That is a really awesome thing. But you actually will get entered to win those engine dress-up parts too, even though you're also entered to win the carbon flash license plate. The Z06 is faster than... Yeah, we talked about that already. 145 thumbs up currently, guys. 150 would be cool. But anyway, let me just... Let's see here. So basically, yeah. So Speed Phenom's at the track, and he's putting down some awesome times. But what is really interesting about this is if you go over to the Mid-Engine Corvette forum.com, you can actually read a little bit more about this. And what I found interesting is if you scroll down a little bit, the numbers that he was getting at the track, he was referring to as being track records. And there's a user down here. I'm trying to find it here. So right here, this user says that he's going to have to check the records at ACS for naturally aspirated V8s, unless he's claiming it's for stock engine only. Honestly, I'm surprised it's not faster. I ran in the 140s when my Z51 was basically stock, and he actually has a picture attached here. He says he didn't have a chance to watch the whole video yet, but again, surprised he's only running 130 in the bank. That's what I used to run. Now, this is with a stock or mostly stock C8 base, and he's able to hit almost the same time. Now, there's a couple different factors here that could be limiting. We know Austin's pretty good at driving on the track, but it's possible that this particular user here is better, or the Z06 is maybe not that much faster around that track than the base C8. Either way, it's always good to see these user actual, like, people that actually have the car and the ones that are actually out there doing it. It's nice to see their opinions versus the people that are just talking about it. I want to see the evidence, and that's what we're getting here. What do you guys think about this? Oh, Whip Reynolds is in. He says, hi, guys. Wife broke her leg 10 days ago. Been swamped. Wow, that's crazy. Tell her we hope she feels better. Bill Smith says, hi, sorry I'm late. Yeah. Can't wait to see Speed Phenom's lap times at a well-known track like Laguna. Yeah, and I was thinking that too. So something like the Virginia International Raceway, that would be really cool to see the track time at that, because I know what the track time is there for the ZR1. And if he was able to beat that, boy, that would be something else. How do you think the Z06 with Z07 compares to the new GT3 RS? Well, the Z06 without the Z07 totally dominates the new GT3 in a drag strip situation. Now, I know these cars are not drag strip cars, but it still is something. The Z06 kills the new GT3. As far as the GT3 RS is concerned, that would be a heck of a car to beat. If the Z06 with the Z07 package even comes close to the GT3 RS, that's a win as far as I'm concerned. Uh, 11-second clip says, what was the temp of the tires on Speed Phenom's car that day? So he actually mentioned somewhere in the video that on one of the laps he was running that his tires were warmed up pretty well, and he was really impressed with how well the back end and front end both maintained grip. He's actually the second person I've heard say that the front end of the Z06 maintains grip in a way that you would not believe. Matt Farah actually mentioned it in his little review that he did, that the front end just held grip like you would not believe, which is really impressive for the C8 because there's not a whole lot of weight over those front wheels.
Hey, 11-second Eclipse was asking though, what was the temperature outside on the race day?
It was colder, but he was able to warm it up to the point where the tires were warm.
Still warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blown 6th gen, that's basically what I was trying to get at here. Is he says a very capable car like the Z51 Stingray in the hands of a great driver will make the Z06 with a not good driver look slow. You're absolutely right. And that's what I'm getting at here with this particular comment is I don't know what the skill of this particular user is here on the Mid-Engine Corvette forum, but I do know that Austin is a pretty good track driver. So if he's pretty good, then that means this guy either is really good or maybe the Z06 isn't that necessarily that much faster than the Stingray. There's a lot of things to consider here, of course. Has anyone mentioned that Austin is on his second pair of Cup 2Rs? We talked about that last week. The Cup 2Rs were like $2,700 or $2,800, and the Cup 2s on my ZR1 are like $2,400, $2,500. So there's a little bit of a price difference between the two, but they last around the same amount of time. I can get like 7,000 miles out of my tires if I'm not tracking the car. Obviously, Austin tracks his car more than I have with the ZR1, but if I track that, I'd probably be replacing them pretty frequently too. Shane says we got 152 thumbs up currently, guys. We could definitely use a little bit more than that, but in the meantime, let's talk about the track times. What do you guys think? Based on what I just showed you there is a user that says that he has gotten almost the same kind of track times at that same track out of a Stingray versus a Z06. What do you think? Post's probably going to have good times out soon on the Z06 and the GT3. I hope so, R. Wilson. Everybody is waiting for Randy's times to see where he is at with that car. Bruno, he wasn't, actually. So Bruno says it seemed like he wasn't pushing it until the later laps. That's why. The tires were cold. He was trying to warm them up to the point where, he could actually get some traction. The Cup 2s and the Cup 2Rs are probably no different. If they're not warm, they are useless. So you definitely need that. Got 155 thumbs up currently. That's awesome, guys. Wheeler O'Hara says we are never getting official Nürburgring times. Maybe when a Euro car is sold to the customer. I don't know what the heck happened. Chevy was over there 3 different times, and it doesn't seem like they ever brought home any numbers for us. I don't know what the heck's going on. Who knows what kind of mods was done to his Stingray to put down that kind of track time. Based on the way he referred to that, it couldn't have been anything crazy. So if I had to guess, probably different wheels and tires and an exhaust and an intake or a filter at least. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do with the C8, the base C8 without some serious money. And if you're throwing, twin turbos and piggyback ECUs on the car and stuff, you're not going to go onto a thread like this and be like, oh yeah, well, my car did that too. Like, yeah, of course it did, but you had 30 grand into it. So he seems to think that GM's going to go back to the Nürburgring. If they do, this will be the first time they ever have done that. Got 160 thumbs up currently, guys. We are just about out of time. Let me check the Venmo here. I want to see if we got any additional. Nope, we don't have anything additional in there. But one last time, guys, we are going to talk about the giveaway because this will be happening tonight. Steve, you want to hold up that thing again? This is a carbon flash painted license plate cover for any Corvette, really, but it's brand new from ACS Composite. Of course, that means it's going to be one of the highest quality pieces of aftermarket parts you can get. You can win this. They're normally a little over $100 after shipping and everything. Every $10 donation will get you an entry to win. And yeah, if you send in $10, you can get an entry to win that. And you'll also be entered to win the giveaway that will happen at the end of this month, which is worth $800. These are C8 engine dress-up parts from American Hydrocarbon. As you can see, they're carbon fiber with some red accents. Super nice painted, gloss over top of everything. Looks really awesome. So yeah, guys, every $10 donated will get you an entry to win either one of those two. The entry for the ACS composite license plate frame will happen tonight. The other one for the engine dress-up parts will happen at the end of the month, one day after Christmas. Stephen Rapp, that is probably accurate. He says he sees great stuff from Austin because this is his third C8. He is young and probably weighs less than all of us. He does look pretty small, so he probably does weigh very little, which is obviously good for keeping the weight down in the car. But Alvin says, guys, is it worth getting the magnetic ride control on your C8, even if it's non-Z51? I'm going to say yes, because I've driven in a car with Z51 that was not mag ride, and the difference was pretty astounding. I didn't expect the difference to be as big as it was. My C8 had Z51 and mag ride, and the one that I drove the second time was just Z51 with no mag ride, and I could feel the difference. It didn't get as stiff as mag ride does, and it also never got as soft as mag ride does. So you were just kind of in the middle the entire time, and I didn't like it. See you later, Wheeler. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. We appreciate your support. Back to building the 948. Awesome, dude. Don't miss out on your Christmas presents. Thumbs up. Help out that channel. Kerry Glock. He's warning you guys. Don't wake up to a presentless Christmas. Mag ride is mandatory for a sports car. Shane, my PayPal is just my just horsepowerobsessed@gmail.com. I'll email you my Zelle. Or I'll text it to you, I'm sorry. All right, let's take a look at the Venmos here. If you guys are interested in winning any of the drawings tonight, we're running out of time. We're about to do the drawing now. So, Steve, you have everybody's name in there? Are you able to do the drawing tonight? Oh,
Steve?
I can't hear Steve.
Steve, are you alive? He's frozen. He's alive. He's alive. Stupid fast truck. I don't want half a license plate frame.
Always something. All right. He's a thumbs up, it says. Okay, I can hear you guys now. Let me know whenever you're ready, Steve. I think we're going to go ahead and do it. So, last chance, guys. If you want to win the ACS composite license plate, every $10 donated is a entry. So this is your last chance, though. Steve is going to put in the information, and then that's that. Oh, did you get the second donation from Stupid Fast Truck, Steve? I can hear you now. I can hear you, dude. Just say yes. Can you hear him, Jason? Okay, great. All right. I know. Yeah. Let's see. What's the winner's name? Stupid Fast Truck. Look at that, man. How about that? All right. Stupid Fast Truck. Shoot me an email, horsepowerobsessed@gmail.com. let me know your shipping address because you just won the license plate cover. I will put in my email address here in the chat so you can just copy and paste it. And we will get it sent out to you. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Steve's audio. It's gone. It's all gone. Yeah, it expires. All right, so Stupid Fest. Is he still in here? He's got to still be in here, right? He just donated that like 2 seconds ago. I can hear you. Say something again. Oh, okay. Yeah, hold on. I know why. Let me fix it real quick. All right, say something now, Jason.
Something now, Jason.
There it is. All right, so you should be working now. So Jason's working, Steve's still not, but it doesn't matter. We got our winner. Stupid Fast Truck. Just shoot me an email. I will get that sent out to you. And guys, anybody who has donated for today, you are also entered to win the engine dress up parts, which if Steve can still hear me, hold those up for me. Yeah, okay, he can still hear me. There it is. So you will be entered to win these as well, but we will be running this until the 26th of December because these are worth $800. So make sure you get entered to win these. You have 3 more Mondays to every $10 donation will get you to that point. Prime SS C8 Z06 dyno numbers from Street Speed just happened were 640, but we think that might be an error. So if it is, we're still around Speed Phenoms at about being 610, which is still pretty high. But I think that's going to do it, guys. So we're going to wrap this up. I appreciate all of you tuning in. Jason is still audible, but Steve is out, I guess. Shane, I will text you in a second with my Zelle information.
And I don't know if General heard me. He asked if my car had passed inspection yet. No, it hasn't.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm talking with GM, but we're going to discuss that on one of these Monday nights here very, very, very soon about my car.
Yeah, guys. So Jason's having a lot of issues passing emissions, and with a brand new freaking car, this is going to be something we're going to have one of these Monday nights where we're just talking about nothing but problems or issues, we should say, that pop up with the C8. So definitely tune in for that one. But guys, one last time, please smash that thumbs up button. Shane says we got 167. That's pretty good. We'd love to hit 200, of course, but that will do for now, guys. So we will catch you guys all next Monday.